If the creeper hadn't already existed, Mojang would not add it nowadays. For a mob that can spawn anywhere with the only requirement being that it's dark, it'd be deemed too harsh of a punishment to the player. Not only does it deal lots of damage, but also destroys not just the natural environment, but player builds too, with the only way to stop it exploding being killing it. So ultimately, they would barely even consider the concept of the creeper nowadays. Any game company will have their priorities and design philosophy change over time. However, this is especially true for Mojang and Minecraft. Minecraft started out as a tiny project Notch was working on, to something an indie studio called Mojang was working on out of a single office, to a game a multi-billion-dollar company owns. Also, it's been almost 15 years, so obviously the way they develop the game is going to change. I've compiled a list of features that I believe wouldn't be implemented today if they hadn't already existed. So let's go. The poisonous potato has no purpose. The point of it, seemingly, is to have no purpose. A junk item you can get while farming for potatoes. This wouldn't be added today. One of their guiding principles is items must be multi-purpose, this being seen in Jeb's Minecraft game design book, exclusively for Mojang employees. However, I've read it, and made a video on it, so you can watch that after this if you'd like. But anyway, if items having multiple purposes is a core principle, I doubt they'd want to add an item with not just 1, but 0 uses. In Bedrock Edition, there's an achievement entitled When Pigs Fly. Seems like a fun, goofy achievement. All you've got to do is ride a pig and steer it off of a cliff. If it takes full damage, congrats, you did it. If this wasn't already an achievement from long ago, Mojang would certainly not add it now. Mojang hates to encourage any harm to real-life animals, hence why they won't add sharks, and believe it or not, pigs are animals featuring in real life, so walking them off a cliff to their untimely demise would not be something Mojang would want to encourage nowadays. While you can't shear sheep to obtain wool, you can also kill them to get it. Shearing is better for the player, however, assuming you don't want some additional mutton, as it gives you more wool and it'll grow back on the sheep ready to be sheared again. However, nowadays, rather than allowing players to benefit from murder yet incentivize shearing, they would most likely just make shearing the only way, because as we know, Mojang doesn't like to promote harm to real-life animals. Moreover, I have evidence of this being the case. Look to the turtle or the upcoming armadillo. Turtles will drop a turtle scute when they grow up. Logically, it makes sense to be able to kill one for turtle scute. However, this nets you nothing. The same thing can be seen with armadillo scute. You need to use a brush on the armadillo to get its scute, with killing it getting you nothing. However, they could change how the armadillo works. At the time of this video, we've only seen one snapshot with the armadillo, so anything could change. Squids. The only use they have is telling players to subscribe to Shamwarism_ and like the video if they're enjoying it. Just kidding, squids don't talk. Instead, they drop ink sacs upon death, which is the best way to obtain black dye. Like stated previously, Mojang strongly dislike promoting harm to real-life animals, so they either wouldn't add the squid or make you obtain ink without killing it. Have you ever crafted a fire charge? No, you haven't. And if you're thinking, I've crafted one, then you need to reevaluate what you use your time for. Fire charges are useless. They do two things. Firstly, they can light a fire, but the item disappears upon a single use. Also, the purpose can be replicated by the flint and steel, which is not only cheaper, but has 64 uses. The second purpose is to be shot out of a dispenser like a blaze shooting a fireball. But, like, what's the point of doing that? Why would you want that? Nowadays, they wouldn't add the fire charge, because it adds nothing to the game. It's pointless, and not just because it's a circle. Oh, also, you can use it as a crafting ingredient to make a large ball firework star for a firework with a large ball explosion, but that's niche. Also, you could easily use a different item for that purpose. Jens has said that the bat is an example of an atmospheric mob, with providing atmosphere to caves being its purpose. However, the bat is still deemed useless to many, as being atmosphere doesn't count as a use in the eyes of many players. As a result, they likely wouldn't add the bat in the same way it is now. If they were to add the bat today, they would likely give the bat one, probably niche, purpose. Like how the sniffer digs up seeds for decorative flowers, frogs can net you frog lights, or axolotls can help you fight aquatic mobs. Horses and pistons. These are both such integral parts of Minecraft nowadays, but both pistons and horses originated from mods. The horse was part of the Mo Creatures mod by Dr. Zark, and pistons were a mod posted on the Minecraft forums by Hippopotamus. Nowadays, as is obvious, they wouldn't add something from a mod directly into Minecraft. I believe the extent to which they'd do so would just be, oh that's a cool idea, then implement it independently to the mod, only having used it as the initial inspiration. Endermen were originally added by Notch as a reference to the Slenderman meme. Of course, something like this couldn't and wouldn't happen now, because Mojang is a huge company with hundreds of employees. They aren't quite just a tiny indie studio adding features to their game on a whim anymore. If having dogs as a pet was added now, dogs would likely be their own mob, like how cats are. You wouldn't be able to just tame a wolf. You know how crazy it would be to go out in the real world and tame a wild wolf? That's why nowadays they wouldn't allow you to tame wild wolves in Minecraft. They don't want to promote harm to animals or encourage people to do dangerous things. The other reason they won't add sharks. Demonstrating this is foxes. When they were first added, everyone was suggesting they should be tameable, but Mojang said no, instead making them trust the player if they were the offspring of 2 foxes which had been bred. Trusting just being not running away frightened of the player. So yeah, realistic, I think, and maybe educational, but not as fun in terms of game design as just having a pet fox. Custom skins. Sounds crazy because they're such a big part of the game, but think about it. Why would they want custom skins if they hadn't already existed? The main addition nowadays has shifted to be Bedrock, whether you like it or not. Bedrock has the marketplace to sell skin packs and the character creator to sell parts to make your own skin. If custom skins didn't exist, you'd be more likely to pay for a skin pack or character creator parts, because you can't just make your own pixel art into a skin for free. That's what a custom skin is, pixel art. Because of this, a custom skin can have anything on it. Anyone can make and use them unless you're on console, so why risk people misusing custom skins when you can just give them a large set of options, skin packs and character creator parts, that are all appropriate? Custom skins are such a big part of the game, partly because of how early on in Minecraft's development they were added, but if they hadn't already existed, Mojang and Microsoft would have no incentive or desire to add custom skins. Overall, Minecraft is a almost 15-year-old game, and thus Mojang's design philosophy has changed over time, and that's okay. This list obviously is not everything, so if you can think of something you think they wouldn't add today, tell me and your fellow viewer in the comments.